over 6 decades, Bank of Industry has been here, driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services to micro enterprises, small and medium enterprises, and large enterprises across Nigeria. Leveraging on strategic partnerships, we provide equipment financing, working capital, and support to enterprises in key sectors of Nigeria's economy, including youth and women-led enterprises. Whatever your business needs, starting up, expansion, diversification, modernization, or rehabilitation, we'll be here, always to support you. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
The Bank of Industry's BOI's contribution to the growth of Nigeria's pharmaceutical industry has been impactful in repositioning the industry towards attaining global standards. This laudable intervention by BOI has assisted pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria to join the League of World-Class Pharmaceutical Firms certified by the World Health Organization, WHO, to produce and export drugs. They are designated as firms with good manufacturing practices, GMP. The recent COVID-19 outbreak further emphasized the need for countries to be self-sufficient in medical supplies. Nigeria is not an exception, which is why BOI is not relenting in ensuring that funds are made available to the pharmaceutical sector. Tonight, we shall be featuring the beneficiary of the Bank of Industry that is becoming a force to reckon with in the pharmaceutical industry. Sygen Pharmaceutical Ltd is an indigenous pharmaceutical company incorporated in March 2019. It acquired the primary pharmaceutical and beverage asset of Nigerian German Chemicals plc (NGC) in December 2019 and commenced operations in February 2020. From its factory located in Ota, Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, Sygen Pharma currently produces and distributes pharmaceutical products covering analgesic, anti-diabetic, antifungals, antispasmodics, cough medications, and hematinic drug segment under the NGC brand name. The company also manufactures beverages and bottled water. Beyond producing pharmaceutical products, its management principles that embraces inclusivity and diversity are worthy of emulation, as the company's senior management team comprises 44% females with a target ratio of 50-50, which translates to 50% males and 50% females set by the management and board. This is in line with the United Nations International Labour Organization, which says gender equality, besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to achieving peaceful societies with full human potentials and sustainable development. Welcome to this week's edition of BOI Impact. I am Hadiza Oyewunmi. Sygen Pharmaceuticals Ltd has established itself as a reputable organization within the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. It plans to drive innovation in the pharmaceutical industry with the aim of promoting overall communal well-being of all Nigerians. At an interview with the Chief Executive Officer and the Managing Director, Mr. Charles Oyewunmi, he mentioned that the company is geared towards expanding access to good quality medicines.
I spent, the first half of my career working globally for multinationals, largely manufacturing organizations, right? And I felt I could do the same thing, and I'd worked in different industries, and I felt I could do the same thing here and make a huge impact in pharma, building a world-class pharmaceutical business, and one that will last for generations to come, and one that will also inspire generations to come. So that's where the two words came by. Science, which is, how do we help develop Africa's scientific research capability, and then how do we impact, current generation and generations to come. So imagine those two things together, came up with Sygen. So if we could build a world-class pharma environment here, it will not only be one that will serve the local population, it will also be one that you can use to serve globally, because then any big pharma global organization can say, you know what, for my drugs in Africa, there are a few guys there that meet world-class global standards, and I can have them build my, manufacture my drugs for me, so I can distribute them locally. Most of us come from a multinational background, so that's what we've been trained on. So we're not going to compromise on doing that. So if we could do it for the multinationals that we worked for before and kind of built our experience and skill sets, that's not going to change, because that is in our DNA. So now is to show that in a vehicle that we control, in an environment that we control, that look, this can be done by Africans, yeah, by black people, to world-class standard. The team that we have, most of them are from GSK, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. We have guidelines in Nigeria that we follow. We have the NAFDAC guideline, which we've adhered to from a quality standpoint. We have the WHO guidelines and FDA guidelines, which we've started to use to assess the gaps in our own current facility and try to build a roadmap towards. So that's our ambition, and I think that, and the support we're getting from people like Bank of Industry and some of our other banking partners has encouraged us to continue to do that. Central Bank too as well has supported. So those are things that have helped kind of keep our momentum going forward.
Chief Financial Officer, Sygen Pharmaceuticals Ltd, Chidi Udo, spoke about the transformation strategy of Sygen.
Sygen has got an ambitious growth agenda that we have tagged 5-5-5, which is like the first 5 years, and then another 5 years, and then another 5 years. So our agenda is broken down into two, and that is the transformation phase, which is the first 5 years, and then the next 10 years, which is also split into two, growth phase 1 and growth phase 2. So in the first phase, which is the transformation phase, that is currently what we're going through, we are like 3.5 years into our transformation phase. And what is the transformation phase about? So it's really the asset that we have acquired, which we know is about 40, 60-year-old assets, although it's very strong German equipment and all that. But there is need to transform it to one that can be fit for purpose, that can produce the quality drugs that we want. So in transforming that, we have like 3 sub-phases, which is the growth, and then efficiency and enabler. So in talking about growth, we are talking about expansion of our portfolio. We're also talking about extending our products. We're talking about the machines that we have acquired. How do we transform that through maybe some that we need to swap out, some that we will need to overhaul, and so on. Then for growth, we're talking about our portfolio. What can we do to extend our products? And then what do we do to ensure that it is always available? And then finally, in terms of enablers, we're talking about the people. Because if you have everything put together, but you don't have great talents, then it becomes a critical failure. So Sygen has identified as an enabler that you must have a very strong team, and that is what had happened. So if you look at Sygen today, you find top talents who have come from multinationals like GSK, like Johnson & Johnson, and so on, and also FMCG companies. So pretty much the senior management team is made up of people who have been involved in transformation, business transformation generally in different organizations, and we're bringing all that into these organizations. And then the next phase, which is the growth phase, will be the growth phase. And we are partnering with PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, on working on the operating model. And the result of that is that it will showcase where we're going to be expanding to. So in terms of product portfolio, the new line extensions, the renovations in our products, and also other countries where we want to expand into. So all that is going into the growth phase.
The general manager of Sygen Pharma production, Adekunle Adeyemi, said the company operates to the highest level of ethical standard by maintaining a quality management system.
Quality is prioritized. We build quality into our products. You see raw materials coming in, they go through both the chemical and the microbial analysis before they are released for the line. And at each stage of the production operation, we have quality in-process checks that are carried out on our products. During the manufacturing phase, we have samples taken to the lab for analysis before you can move to the next stage. At the filling stage, the same thing happens. And then at the packing end also, we have the same thing happening where quality comes in to take sample. And just to say also that we have production also looking out for quality. We have production in-process checkers. These are individuals that, apart from running the line, they also carry out quality checks every 30 minutes, while quality comes to carry out the same checks every 2 hours. These are some of the ways we build quality into our products. We focus on man, the material, the method, and the machines. Those are the areas we focus on. On man, we make sure we have the right people for the right job. Everybody is trained in Sygen to do his or her job. Apart from the training, we make sure we get the people with the right qualification. For the materials, we source our materials from the right source. We actually do what is called a supplier's auditor. And when the material comes in, they are taken through the chemical and the microbial test before they are released for production. For methods, we make sure we use the standard method that is acceptable worldwide. Talking about WHO standard, that is what we make sure we use here. We have our standard operating procedures. These are the procedures for each of our processes and for our equipment. All these things they are in place and they are very much in use. Our people are trained on these procedures. For abnormalities on the line, we have standard response to abnormalities on the lines.
With the support of BOI, Sygen is constantly innovating to extend its product portfolio to keep a greater number of patients safer and healthier.
Our relationship with Bank of Industry has been a fantastic one, to be honest. I've heard about the goal and objective of the Bank of Industry. It has been a very pleasant one, right? From the time we approached independently to get their support, from the way they responded to very professional response that we got, to them evaluating our asset. We got the first tranche of support in 2021, where they supported us with CapEx for phase one of our equipment transformation and capacity build phase. And they came around in 2022 to come and see what we've done, and I guess they were quite impressed because they were there assessing the before, and I think they were quite impressed when they saw the after, right? They saw how the things that we've done with what with the monies they had given to us. They were able to see that we had even invested our own additional funding into the infrastructure, which really impressed them, and and from that point on, I think that also sparked a desire to continue to be of great support to us. So we've had a great relationship with the Bank of Industry.
State Manager, Ogun State Office at the Bank of Industry, Babatunde Ajala, also spoke on the relationship between BOI and Sygen.
The relationship of the bank with Sygen Pharmaceuticals Ltd is one of the things that the bank does as its core mandate. Part of our core mandate is to support entrepreneurs, to help them in the areas of acquisition of plants and machinery, to help set up new industries, help expand existing industries, then help bring moribund industries back to life. When it commenced operation, the company definitely still had a lot of things to do. So what the bank did when they approached us was the bank helped them in procurement of plants and machinery to expand their operations, to help them improve. So they needed new equipment for producing their products. And since the Bank of Industry supported them, the customer has begun to increase and grow in revenue. It has begun to increase its asset base, and it has also begun to acquire market share.
It is no gainsaying that the Bank of Industry has continued playing its role as Nigeria's foremost development finance institution by supporting Sygen Pharma to keep growing and expanding its operations, in the course of which several direct and indirect jobs have continued to be created, with more employment opportunities being generated as they wax stronger. Sygen Pharma's products are distributed from depot across Nigeria's geopolitical zones to distributors and wholesalers of pharmaceutical products across Nigeria.
We have invested in some new equipment. Our machines are taken through the proper maintenance. We have the planned preventive maintenance that is adhered to strictly. We don't say until a machine breaks down before we fix it. Machines are properly maintained. With all this, we're able to produce quality products. Each of the lines is able to run at a speed of 150 bottles per minute. So from there, you can infer our capacity. Our operation is 24/6 operation. We run all through. We only go on off on Sundays. So in a week, we are able to run up to, with the two lines, we're able to run up to 10 batches. A batch of our product, of the liquid line, a batch is 45,000 bottles. For the solid section, our capacity is dependent on the batch size. So we have Valgene, which is a paracetamol-based analgesic. The batch size is 500 kg, equivalent to 1 million tablets. This we run within 24 hours. For Tabalon ibuprofen, a 500 kg batch also, we run within 24 hours also. And we have 5 blistering machines for these operations.
Production Manager, Beverage Plant at Sygen, Kainde Aderibibe, explained the manufacturing process of bottled water.
For manufacturing of Spaza water, we have a bottle blowing machine, a seeded BO8 that is 14,000 bottles per hour capacity. So when you blow the bottle, it gets to the filling machine. The filling machine is 40 by 40 by 10 capacity, which is about 12,000 bottles per hour capacity. So from there, it moves to the labeling machine, where it labels it with the labels of Spaza. And from there, the labeling machine is about 12,000 bottles per hour. And from there, we move to the coding machine. The coding machine is 12,000 bottles per hour. That gives us the expiry date, manufacturing date, and the time at which a product is manufactured. From there, it moves to the tin wrapping machine, where it packs it by 12, by trays, the unit where we sell. That's the process of Spaza that we are doing. We do average of 5,000 trays per day within 2 shifts.
They need to do water, which also complements their revenue in terms of, driving their revenue upwards. And they do beverages as well, and their beverages are in every household now. So it's really nice that the bank actually supported the company. What's also very interesting is after the bank's support, some of the people that were laid off from Nigerian German Chemical PLC, some of them were reabsorbed back. Most of them, in fact, practically all of them, except for the ones that did not want to come back. So the bank has helped in saving employment.
The Bank of Industry continues to support. We get intermittent visits from the regional or zonal offices just to see how things are going, and they've responded positively to any additional requirements that that we've come up with. And so that impact in itself has allowed us to grow capacity, allowed us to sell more, produce more so we can sell more, right? Allowed us to hire more people and keep more people employed. We have over 400 people working at Sygen today, right? And that could only have been the support of BOI, right? If we didn't have that support between BOI and our primary bank, we wouldn't have a business that would be up and running today to even hire people or even be able to pay people. We've not missed a paycheck, right? They all get paid month on month and on time. So I can only adduce that to the timely support, and response that BOI, gave when we needed to quickly, upgrade our capacity and equipment.
The mission of Sygen Pharma is to develop and create access to high-quality medicines that yield outcomes and improve the quality of life of patients in our community. You would agree with me that Sygen Pharma is working in line with this mission. The federal government of Nigeria, through the Bank of Industry, is always ready to assist businesses to attain greater height. If this momentum is sustained, I bet you Nigeria shall make considerable progress sooner than later in the domestic production of its pharmaceutical requirements. There's no doubt that Nigeria is indeed a blessed country. Till we come your way again, please stay healthy and enterprising. I am Hadiza Oyewunmi. Bye for now.